what's good with it, in the hood with it. You see the thumbnail, you know the flavor, you know the deal, you know how we do it. We keep it real, right? And we make the beat go boom. Boom. But in fact, we don't make the beat go boom. Tito B made the beat go boom, rest in peace. But we're going to continue the beats that go boom. You know what I mean? Because you like the cars that go boom. That's right. And in this fashion, right? I'm in noodle style, direct fashion, I trip out. Let's get straight to it, man. You see the thumbnail right there? Orale. No more canalismo. Okay? A lot of people ask me a lot of questions. You know, and I don't want to be funny. Guard! I said I don't want to be funny right now, right? What I want to be is real. What's the thing I miss the most about being an active Norteño gang member? The canalismo. Okay? When I say canalismo, that's a word that was taught to me. It was something I had to learn first and foremost, hands-on. It was something I had to be there to experience. And there was nothing like it. You know, I could sit here and say I miss, you know, the hyenas or the attention that it attracts, or even the melees and the physical confrontations between myself and the enemy. I don't miss none of that. Who misses getting hit in the back of the head or getting shot at or getting stabbed? I don't think anybody would miss that. You know, who misses that physical attraction that women like, the bad boy, the thug? I mean, I'm still tatted down. I still got that mean muggish, kind of sluggish, but I'm still here. So I'm still going to always have that. A tortillana, man, but that tortillana, that's nothing, right? I'm going to stay getting those. Real men do real things, you know, just for me. Now, trip out. You know, there's a lot of things that I miss. You know, there's a lot of things that I don't. I've always been a true believer in a cause. Okay? Let's just get that out there right now. You know, being born and raised in Northern California, we're different. Different is as in, you know, raised differently. Different types of mentalities. Different types of tactics are taught. Different types of education is instilled. You know, I could sit here and I can elaborate and go on and on why I did the things that I done. You know, I could say my father wasn't there as a young kid. I could say that's all I seen. That was my surrounding areas. I grew up like that. I just wanted to be that one. And a lot of those are truths, but a lot of those are mistruths. You know, that's not the whole reason why I did what I did. I did because I was one of those type of people that once I became committed to something, that's all I seen. That's all that was in my path. I put the blinders on. That's it. I didn't see nothing else, right? I think my life, you know, being a youngster, being indoctrinated with the Northern philosophy, and then of course getting caught up at a very young age, is what kind of dictated my program. See, I couldn't bust a U-turn. There was no way to go back. I had to just keep striving forward, forever forward. That's where that comes from. You keep going forward. You never look what's behind you. And you rock with those beside you. Now, a quote that I've said back in the past, you know, to kill is a cruel necessity, but if one does not kill, how can one conquer? And if one does not conquer, what future is there for our people? I lived by that creed for so many years. Like Davanta said, I slept it, I breathed it, I ate it, right? Yeah, I did all that for my people and those who I felt were worthy of the cause, and those who I felt were worthy for me to lay my life down on the line for them. You know, and at that time, that was the Norteños. You know, I will forever be indebted to a lot of good homeboys that showed me a lot of love. You know, I will forever be indebted to people like my tío, even my jefita to some point. A lot of the older homeboys that gave me the education that I needed to succeed in life, not only to be a gang member, because yes, you do succeed as a gang member, man. There's certain levels that you have to progress through and certain situations you'll find yourself in that you wouldn't know how to wiggle up out of. You know, if a person didn't give you the clecha, sometimes it's just blind luck. Sometimes it's just real. And I definitely had the tools and the necessary mindset to wiggle through all that. You know, but canalismo is a word, you know, that unless you understand the true definition and meaning of it, then you'll never know. You know, people ask me all the time, you say canalismo, what is that? You know, that's the coming together of people with a common understanding, the coming together of brothers, right? The word carnal means brother in Spanish. It's kind of a slang word, but it means brother, right? And when you're in a gang or you're in a group, you know, or you're in situations that I was in the youth authority in prison, these guys cease to be just the homie or the homeboy or my friend or my camarada or my ace dudes or my taita. Now they become your carnal, your homeboy, your brother. More than anything else. these are the people that I depend on, to make sure that I'm able to live that next day, that I'm able to walk that yarda, and that I'm going to have a place, to do dips on, that I'm going to have a place to do burpees. Because see, in prison, everything is fought for. The establishment of a yarda is very, very serious. If you have nowhere to lay your head, if you have nowhere to go out there and call your home, then you have nada. It's especially in prison, in a ground where there's not enough for everyone. Only the real ones eat, homie. The other ones don't. Spencer, there's no room for you here. It's just the way it be. Like, guard, I said, there's no room. That's it. Right? And that's just how it is. Unique canalismo. It's a showing of love. Undefined. There's no wavering there. Real ones know what I mean. What's canalismo? The way I was taught and brought to it was, a showing of love and respect right from the gate from a homeboy from, say, a different city. I remember pulling up in CYA, my first cellie was probably one of my best cellies, and that was my homeboy Little Inez, the Fresno Bulldogs. At that time, he was functioning as a norteño. He was a real one. He continued to be a real one. Rest in peace to Little Inez. He's no longer with us, but I'm going to say, he showed me so much canalismo. I could have got, I didn't know nothing. I'm fresh out of YA, a young buck. I got a murder case. It is what it is. Anybody can get it. I had that mentality like, hey, I ain't giving no cachetes for nobody, right? And this vato showed me the way that, hey, homie, it's all about love for the homeboys. It's all about canalismo. It's all about coming together to strive together. You're not alone. That's it. You're definitely not alone. Because I felt alone. I felt like, hey, I got this time. I got to do this time by myself. This is just the way it is. My Theo told me, man, when you go in there, man, you're on your own. You got to do what you do. But I came to find out that was probably the advice or the clecha that he gave me that wasn't truth. There was no truth to that. Truth is, if you're a real one and you're about the business and you're a true and firm believer in your cause, you will be embraced and you will have canalismo. Okay, I see a lot of these young northern rappers. They're doing songs called canalismo. That's a brotherhood, right? And they're absolutely correct. It's more so than just friends. I've had a lot of homeboys that I've done dirt with, a lot of homeboys that I respected, but it was like, yeah, dang, you stink, get away from me. A lot of autos that, yeah, we're from the same neighborhood, we're from the same streets, same body, same everything, homes, but I'd rather not be around you, homes, because you will poop butt, right? And then I've been around some that didn't want to be around me because they felt that I was bringing a whole bunch of negative energy, or vice versa. It is just what it is. Just because we're from the same water, the same neighborhood, doesn't mean we rock like that. I might not even like that vato. He got jumped in on my day off, right? But it was what it was, But at the end of the day, I'll still show him respect and canalismo and love, even though I don't like him. Now, when I got to the youth authority, I was embraced as a norteño. I was embraced as a good homie, but I was watched very closely, just like everybody else is. So you give everyone the benefit of the doubt. You give them respect, but you watch them closely. You're seeing you can only judge and base a man off the character, the content of his character, what he's going to do when it comes time to react. Is he really about the business? Is he going to back the play of another homeboy with no questions asked? There can't be questions. Hey, Sasuke, why are we doing this, eh? I don't know. I thought those are from laws, eh? I don't know to what degree of laws, the highest degree. I don't even know why we're backing these. Nah. You're from Soho, I'm from Merced. Let's get it. That's it. It was not even a question. Didn't matter. If he had a huelga bird, if he was a norteño, then I rocked that way. And the Southsiders did the same for their camaradas. And the Bulldogs did the same for their people. And the Latin Kings did the same thing. That's just what it was. A lot of people have asked me, how do you define the word canalismo? What could be defined, the definition of it is very different, to each their own, homes. A lot of things and a lot of different aspects of life that I was involved in showed me the true definition of canalismo. I can't sit here and tell you exactly what it means. I could say the embracement of a brother, right now. It means more than that. That's it. What it meant to me was unwavering loyalty, dedication to each other. Okay? When I needed it the most, it was there for me. When they needed it the most, I was there for them. And that's a fact. Now, no more canalismo. See, there's no more. Canalismo is having three sopas. I told the story, we were in the county jail and we got raided. Our cell got raided. Someone dropped a kite on us. And the way it is in Merced County Jail, there's active Norteño blocks, active Southsider blocks, active whatever, GP, whatever, however the makeup is. It changes all the time. But at this time, this is how it was. Well, we got a kite dropped on us. They were tripping on removals and things that were happening. So they decided to throw the sneak attack on us, hit us at 3 in the morning, snatch all the homies up from each cell, and throw us in the front of the building. There was cells, and they had about 25, maybe 20 of us up there. And I remember there was a couple homeboys that were on walk alone status that were already up in the front. Because of their case, because of the notoriety of their case, or maybe they were, in question. I don't know, whatever the case may be, but they were up there. And I remember we were starving. The placas threw us in there 3 in the morning, didn't feed us breakfast, didn't give us our sack lunch, kind of had us on restriction. We kept hitting them up, hey, Spence on. When are we going to go back to the block? Hey, you'll go when we tell you. Oh, you're brave behind the door. Go! So you fuckers were brave behind the door, huh? But it was all good. Carnalismo is all the homeboys being in there, continuing to work out, bust down 2 at a time, continuing to program and function, continuing to be on point, continuing the struggle and the strive no matter what obstacles and what is in front of you. We were starving. I remember the few homeboys that were there, they shot up 3 sopas amongst 20 and we split it up. We all got a vaso with that much, right? And I remember that was the best sopa I ever ate. Not because I was starving, because I was hungry. And it wasn't because of that, but more so it was because I looked around and no homeboys complained, no homeboys cried about it. Everybody was just happy to get the little issue that they got. That was true canalismo. We all made sure everyone got exactly the same, except for the one homeboy. He was like, oh, I'm taking a whole lot, right? But I mean, he's no longer with us, right? I'm just saying, that's just how it was. There's been plenty of times that, like I said, a lot of people go in and they ask me, hey, Gunner, why do you talk about that foot Joker from San Leandro, right? The reason I do, shout out to San Leandro, man, real ones rock at it, rocks with the Raiders, right? And shout out to Davis Street Locals. The reason I go in on this guy is not to bully him. I'm not a bully. Other than stats. It has nothing to do with any of that. What it has to do more so was with the lack of character in that man. He got embraced and showed canalismo right when he got there like he was a homeboy. I was willing to die for that vato right there. That vato hugged the toilet and was willing to let me get stabbed up by the opposition with no qualms. He didn't trip. And then later on, when it benefited him, and he wanted to kick it with the homies because we established now we got our little piece of the yarda. Now we're chilling. It wasn't a big piece, but it was a piece, right? It was Northern approved, hood tested, Northern approved, right? We had our own thing going on. Then, hey, can I join you guys over here? Yeah, you can give me your fucking shoes too, puto, right? And all your sopas. Not because I'm bullying you, because I don't get down like that, but because you get no canalismo. You are erased from that, Holmes. You let me down. I'm supposed to be your brother in arms. I'm supposed to be the one. Nah, I was the 2. Well, guess what? Now you're the nada. You're the 0. Can I be that hero? Right? I'm going to take those. I'm going to need those. All right. Dust them off. They don't fit, but they do now. It's a stretch. And that's just what it was. So it's not bullying tactics. It's none of that. It's this guy broke my heart, man. He let me down. As a young Norteño, that's all we had was each other. All we had was the respect and the love of one another. We had to watch each other's back, not throw each other to the wolves. So, there was many times I made sacrifices, went to the oil. Homeboys would get caught with things. I'll take that case. You know what I mean? Homeboys still got good times. So I'm maxed out. Orale, let's go. Let's go to the caja. I'm going to go sit down, shiver and shake in the cold weather and, go through these hardships and these changes for the people, by the people. Because I felt at that time, that's what real ones do. They rock. Right? I say no more canalismo because I'm not embraced like that no more. I'm not welcomed to the barrio. I'm not welcomed to the junta. A lot of these things, they trip me out and I laugh. I sit and I laugh, not at the cost, not at the gente doing it because they're conducting business as they should. I remember back in my day, just like Joker, get up out here, poop butt, right? Not everyone was allowed to join in on the reindeer games. But as someone having been through and sacrificed so much, I reflect back and I think about things like this and I say, damn, that's the only thing I really truly miss. Is the canalismo, kicking it amongst some good homeboys, telling war stories, tripping out, and knowing that if something cracks off, we got it. Let's do this. There might not be many of us, but it's a, we got this, and we're going to do it in a vicious fashion. And that's how it is. There's no more canalismo for me, gente. I do YouTube. I sit here, I got friends now like Dubs and Alec Acosta, you know, a good friend, and other friends I got, man, that I say, you know what, hey, these are real ones, Holmes. These are vatos I know got my back. These are vatos I can back their play in situations. But as far as the canalismo that I once had, the embracement and the love for the northern cause and all that, I'm not invited, right? And I understand. You know, I understand. And it's a hard pill to swallow. It's hard. It hurts the heart. It hurts the heart, gente. Not because I still want to gangbang, still want to be part of something. I think I'm cool. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with something bigger than that. See, as a brown man, I believe in the raza, gente. I believe in our brown people. You know, I believe there's always going to be oppression, struggle, a lot of things that we're going to have to go through. And when you have someone of like-mindedness, someone you could go through it with, you know, it's cool. I'm on my own now, gente. Yeah, I got familia. You know, I got my brother, you know. We don't talk much, like I said. Not as much as I thought we were going to, but I understand he's living his life. That's fine. You know, I don't deal with a lot of my old school homeboys from my body. There's still some homeboys I tap in with. Still some homeboys from Y that show love after 30-something years. I did a video about that. That's real canalismo right there. That's the only time I truly feel canalismo is when I go around those homeboys that we're, because we know the struggle. And we crave that love that we once had. Like, hey, bro, remember when we used to do that? Canalismo, homes. That's what it is. You know, I see all these rap songs and they don't got it twisted. Yeah, they're speaking on it. But what do you truly define as canalismo? What have you really been through together as a gente, the struggle to know what it really means? Because it's not all about just kicking back and giving each other a hug and it's all love, bro. We claim the same thing, so you're a canalismo. That's not what it is. It's something deeper than that, homes. It's a brotherhood. It's coming together as brothers, man. Willing to sacrifice everything, yes, familia y todo, for the next man. No questions asked. Do I still got canalismo for others? I always will. Do they have it for me? Not necessarily so. But it doesn't matter. Right here, I'm going to continue to be the man I am. I'm going to continue to promote canalismo for everybody, a brown gente. Because I truly and honestly believe that's what we need, man. That changes a life. That defines one's life. Now, I understand when you're in the gang realm, you're in the underground, you're doing your thing, homes. Certain situations are going to dictate your program. You're going to find yourself in a situation, man, you just can't find yourself out of. It's cold. It's a cold game. When you're striving and you're really doing it, you know, when you get put on the back burner or pushed out or pushed away, I understand how a vato feels. I've been through it. Facts. When people sit there and try to deny your historia and tell you you're a tweaker, you're a J-Cat, you're none of this, come on now, bro. If that's how you truly, honestly, really feel and really think that, ¿sabes qué? You're messing up already. Guard! I said they're messing up already. That's not the true character. That's a caricature. That's something put out there to entertain you. But that's not the real man. You know, don't get it twisted. The light-skinned guys will fuck you up. Now, anyways, you know, I wanted to put that out there because someone asked me, you know, what's canalismo? And I'm seeing it start to fade away from our peoples. You know, I'm not seeing it anymore. I'm seeing a whole bunch of people do things just to do it, just because they want likes and views and clout and shine or whatever. True canalismo, I felt it, I've embraced it, I know what it is, and it can never be the same. You know I'm not welcome back with open arms to my northern people, but I've never left. You know, I've never left. I've never turned my back on anybody. I've always been a true believer, and I will continue to be. But I also will be a true believer in all brown people being the same, no matter what. That's it, no matter what. Anyways, with that being said, yep, no more canalismo for the gun. But guess what? I got canalismo for everyone else. And with that being said, I hope that you move with a purpose, get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the struggle. It's all about the strive. It's all about getting up off your ass for your family and feeding them. You know, closed mouths can't get fed. You know what it is. If you like it, hit that like and subscribe. If not, thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears this crown. I'm going to continue to struggle and strive for what I honestly, truly believe in. And that's canalismo in a real way. The gun. Bang, bang.